Hello everyone, today we'll discuss PHP, including what is cookie, what is session, difference between cookie and session, how to create a cookie and how to create session. Difference between cookie and session. Cookies stores small amount of data in 4 kilobytes of file in which we can store 4000 characters or we can only store 4096 bytes. Sessions store large amount of data in form of variables. Sessions are managed and stored at server side. Cookies are small text files stored in browsers. Cookies are less secure because they are available on local machine and user can access the value of the cookie easily. Sessions stores the data in sessions and we cannot store the value of the session easily because they are stored in server side and therefore sessions are secure. To delete the cookie or to destroy the cookie, we have to set the expiration time of a cookie, but sessions can be destroyed by using the session destroy function. To create a cookie, we use setCookie function which must be appear before HTML tag. To create session or to start the session, we use session start function which must be the first thing before any HTML tag in your document. Cookie is small text file in which website can store different information. When user send a request, then it will send the IP address to server and server will check the IP address and set the cookie for the user and store it to the user's browser. Other page request from the user will return value and the name of the cookie. So when a cookie of a website is created, then that cookie will only be visible to that website. Other users cannot view the value of the cookie. And cookies are used to maintain the state of the user, such as to track the user activity, what he is doing, what he she wants, what he she likes. To create a cookie, setCookie function is used to create a cookie. setCookie function must be the first thing in your document before HTML tag. There are multiple parameters in setCookie function. Name is mandatory, other parameters are optional. Name is the name of the cookie, value is the value of the cookie, expiry is the expiration time of cookie, path is used to specify where cookie is valid in particular server so that other pages can share the cookie of same domain. And domain is the name of the domain. It is used to share the cookie to multiple servers with same domain. Secure means it has two false and true values. If the value is true, then cookie will be accessible through HTTPS. The default value is false, so we can access the cookie through HTTP protocol. HTTP only if it is true, then JavaScript, which is client-side language, cannot access the cookie. Only server-side languages can access the cookie. If it is false, then client-side language can access the cookie. In example, you can see that the name of the cookie is user, value of the cookie is Khan, and the expiry time is 1 hour. 1 hour is equals to the 3600 seconds. So, and the time function returns the current time. So from current time to 1 hour is the expiry time of the cookie user. After 1 hour, user cookie will be destroyed. Slash is the path where cookie is valid for server so that other pages can share the cookie. Slash means it will be available to all other pages within the same folder. Okay. Session. A session is a time that user spends at website. It is a way of storing information. That information will be used across the pages. A PHP provide mechanism to track what user is doing, what he she likes, what he she wants, even if user log off. So it maintains the state. It is like when you come back to your computers after some modification, that computer will remember the changes you have made previously. Like when you bring your sweater for dry cleaning, then you go to the shop and shopkeeper will give you the ticket, and when you after a while come back, then you will show the ticket number and shopkeeper will check for your sweater in the stack and he gives you the sweater back after checking the tracking number. Similar like the sessions, when session is created, then a random number is created and that random number will be embedded with cookies and stored at the client side. When client made a request for the next page, then that unique ID, which is session ID, will be sent with request, and session will be checked by the server. If it is matched, then next page will be sent to the user. So this is why we use the sessions, because HTTP protocol do not remember the state. It do not know who you are and what you have done on the website. Therefore we come up with the sessions. So sessions are used to identify the user. The information saved in the session are stored in variables, and that information belongs to only single user. For each user there is unique session ID. So two users will have the two unique different numbers of which is called the session IDs, and that session dies if user do not request any page within 20 minutes. It depends upon the browsers. Sometimes sessions do not expire, and if it goes indefinitely until and unless you destroy them or log out from the accounts. When such session is started, a random hexadecimal number is created by the server, and that number will be called session ID, and it will be stored in session file along with the user information in form of variables. When session ID is created, it will be passed also to the browser by using cookies. Cookies in this case only hold the session ID. Cookies will not hold other information. So user information is safe with the server side. When browsers have the session ID, then it passes the session ID back and forth to server program for every subsequent request. Session ID is disposable, so all associated information will be removed after some while, and if you want to store the information, then you can store it in the databases. So we can pass the session ID by using the cookies. There are three ways you can pass the session ID. One is default way cookies discussed, and second is get and post method like submitting form. If cookie has been disabled by the browser, then the session ID will be passed through the URL, which will be seen in the URL bar. To start session start function is used to start the function, and all the information, all the values of the session can be stored in the session variables by using session supergrouper variable. the session start function must be the first thing in your document before any HTML tag. As in the example you can see, session start must be the PHP script part, and when session start function is executed, then session number will be generated. So in other pages, session start function must be used so that browser, when it sends request to the server and server will checks if the session is already started, then it will open that session and shares the values between the pages of the same session. If there is no session which user have requested, then new session will be created. So thank you. Let's do the practical. Let's create the example of cookie by using setCookie function. So setCookie function will be the first thing in your document. Inside setCookie function, the name of the cookie is mandatory. In this case, we use user as name of the cookie. Second parameter is the value of the cookie, and the third parameter is expiry time. This time function returns the current time, so the expiry time of the cookie is from current time to 60 seconds. So user cookie will be expired after 60 seconds, and this cookie will be available to all pages inside particular server path. So last is path parameter. So let's retrieve the value of the cookie inside your document, inside the HTML document. Let's write the script. So first we will check whether the value of the cookie is set, then we will print the message cookie is not set. Otherwise we will print the value of the cookie. Okay, so first we will check is set, is not set. Okay, so logical operator. So the cookie name user, the cookie name user, if it is not set. Okay, so if it is not set, then what? Then print the message cookie not set. Okay, then after, if the value of the cookie is set, then print the message cookie is set, and new line and value of cookie is, we can retrieve the value of the cookie by using super global variable. Okay, cookie variable. Okay, so the name of the cookie is user, so this will returns the value of the cookie Khan. Okay, so let's again repeat this program. setCookie function will set the value of the cookie and name of the cookie and expiry time of the cookie and set the path. Then after document, inside the document, PHP script will check whether the value of the cookie is set. So in this case the value is set. So if the value is not set, then print the message cookie not set. Otherwise, if the value is set, then else will be executed. Okay, if value is not set, then if will be executed, if value is set, then else will be executed. So let's run the program. I am already running the server, localhost, and web application name is my website, and the program name is cookie.php. So you can see that the cookie is set and the value of the cookie is Khan. Okay, so we can also print the message, this one. So how, if we do not set the value of the cookie, so you will see that this message will be displayed. Okay, so let's refresh it now. So you can see cookie not set. And another thing is you can see that if I am setting the expiry time 3 seconds for example, and I am setting the value here. Now let's refresh it. Okay, so now let's wait for 3 seconds and it's done. So let's refresh it. So you can see that cookie not set, because after the 3 seconds cookie will automatically be destroyed. If you want to destroy the cookie, you will just set minus negative value, any value. So for example, so this means that the cookie user whose value is Khan is already expired since last 1 hour. Okay, so if you want to print the value, then it will not retrieve the value of the cookie. So because cookie has already been expired since last 1 hour. Okay, and therefore if will be executed. So inside the if, the message is cookie not set. Okay, so you can also print entire cookie by using print R function. So inside print R function you will just write array of cookie. Okay, so you can just pass the array variable cookie inside the print R function. It will print all the values of the cookie. Okay, so you can also print the value of the cookie. Let's reset the expiry time. Let's say plus, so expiry time would be 9 seconds. Okay, after 9 seconds will be removed. Here you can see that the array has been printed. So this array is the array of the cookie, and it contains the variables of the cookie. Okay. So in our case we have only one variable, which is user, and its value is Khan. So the print R function will print all the variables of the array cookie. Let's create the example of session. So first thing in your document should be session start. This function will start the session and it creates the random number, or it will open the new session. Okay, HTML, and let's retrieve the value ID of the session inside the document, and write one more thing, h1 tracking visitors. We will set the script inside the body, and inside the script we will write if else statement, and first we will set variable, which is $session variable. So remember that in session we store the user information in variables. So the count is the variable of the session. Okay, so this is this count variable. So we will check that is count if count is set, if the count is set. Okay, if it is set, then make the increment of 1. Okay, so increase the value of count to 1, otherwise initialize the, if it is not set, then initialize the count variable to value 1. Okay, then after we can print the session ID and tracking number. Okay, so echo you are visitor number. Okay, your visitor number, and you can print the session variable count. Okay, so if it is not set, then it will return 1. So, and then when you refresh the page, it will increase the value of count. Okay, so this statement will returns the number of visitors, and you can also print the session ID. Your session ID is, and you can write the session ID by using the session ID function. Session ID function returns the hexadecimal random session number. Okay, so let's execute this program. Okay, so first start the server, and then your application, web application, my website in my case, and the name of the file is session.php. So you can see this, the tracking visitor, and you are the visitor number 1, and a session, your session ID is this one. So this is the hexadecimal number. We can also make it more clear by, after the tracking number, start from new line. So as I refresh it, you will see that number of visitor will increase it. So you can see now the count has been increased by 1. So you are visitor number 1, and your session ID is this. If I refresh again, you will see that number of visitors will be increased by 1. Okay, so as long as you refresh the page, as you visit this page, it will increase the number of visits. Okay, so this is how you can create the session. So in cookies, we could destroy the cookies by setting the negative value. Okay, so in the sessions, we can destroy the session by using session_destroy function. Okay, so session_destroy function will destroy the session. Okay, so it will just write the session_destroy function, and if you refresh it, you will only find that you are visitor number 1. So when you refresh it, and when you continue refresh the page, when you continue visit the page, it will only shows that you are visitor number 1, because it will create the session first, and in the after printing the message, it will destroy the session. Okay, when you refresh it again, it will create again session, and it will print the message, and it will in last it will destroy the session. So this is how you can create the session by using session start function, and you can destroy the session by using session destroy function. Okay, so you can also print the session values by using print r function. Okay, thank you.